Hello, listeners. Hi, my name is Madhavi, and I'm so happy to have you on Upptalk. You have come to the right place if you want to learn about IT and do really cool things with your hands. We are not just another IT company when I say Upptalk. Think of us as your learning partner dedicated to helping you reach your full potential. We have top notch hands on courses to help you build your business, whether you are new to technology or want to move up in your current job. Let's look around this as our first step towards learning.
So today I will take you through how we can approve a time card. So if you are a manager, then these are the employees reported to you. How to approve employee's time card is first to open and click on employee. Click on go to and click on time cards. So go to is the option to go to time card schedules and everything. So you need to click on time cards. So it will be paperless. You will be approved the previous paper because current paper is not complete. So the previous paper is the one which will be approving. So to approve it is very simple. You need to review this time card. If there is any correction needs to be done or any leaves that needs to be out. So you will review it. And if everything looks good, you need to click on approve time card and click on approve. So currently, if you see the time card showing white, so as soon as you approve the time card, the color of the time card will change. So this is to differentiate how much the time card is approved. And the second level of approval, which the payroll officer or as Kronos consultant will do, is sign off. So that is here. This is the second level of approval which we will be doing, which is sign off. So once you do the sign off again, the color will change to grayed out. So once you sign off, you cannot edit anything. All the columns will be grayed out, not edited. So there are two levels of approval. One is the approved time card and one is sign off. While you approve, then hours which are outside are approved and the time card will turn back to yellow color. And but still the manager will be able to do some edits if needed. But once you do the sign off, the time card is completely locked out. Even the manager will not be able to make any changes unless until he has access to review the sign off. Mostly reviewing the sign off only will be available to payroll officer or the Kronos consultants. So that's about how to approve the time card and review sign off. So like this is the second session, I am taking you through the lighter options. After 4 or 5 sessions, we will start with the setups. So that is about the time card. So now if you see here, next item which I need to take you through is we had one test by which we used to land punches and tests. I think James moved. So currently the employer is not assigning the initial. You can see here the schedule is empty. So usually what happens is in every Kronos working environment, the employees will be assigned to the shift and they will punch in and punch out according to that particular shift only. So they're not just randomly punching and punching. Then we will have some restrictions to make sure that only the employee would be able to punch in and punch out during the shift, not any time. So how to add an employee to a particular shift? So this work is majorly done from the what to say the managers. Manager will be responsible for doing or adding a schedule. So how he will do is he will select one employee or maybe 3 or 4 employee and he will click on go to and schedules. Click. We are selecting an employee. Click on go to and schedules. This is a separate page called schedule bar. This is the place where we need to assign an employee to a particular shift or schedule. So if you do previous schedule, break the number of dates. Let's see. I'll go on the back so that we match the data there. So we are at the page. So I just changed the date range. Everything else is there. I just changed the date range to match what the date range we have here so that we can see the results. So here the time constructs are 10 to 8, 10 to 23. I'm just changing it 10 to 23, 10 to 20, 10 to 23. How to add a schedule? For example, this employee has a shift of like this employee is assigned with a shift of Monday to Thursday. For this employee, the manager is assigned with a task that this employee works from Monday through Thursday. And on Monday, he works from 6 a.m. Wham. And on Tuesday, he works from 6 a.m. to. I'm just giving you an example. Mostly, people will be working on the same timings throughout the week, but I'm just giving you an example. And on Wednesday, he's again working on 6 a.m. through 4 p.m. And on Thursday, he has a shift of 6 a.m. to 2. Clear on this procurement. This is the shift timings for the employee for a particular week. And this will be replicating for each week. So he works 4 days a week. And on these timings, so if our manager wants to do this first Monday, he works from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. First, let's add that shift. We go to Monday, we need to click on it. Just click on it. Click on add shift. You need to click on add shift. And here you need to choose employee starts at 6 a.m. and ends at 2 p.m. So once you have the start time and the time should be regular, there will be 3 steps: regular, break and transfers. So here we are concentrating on simple shift. So first let's start with normal, which is regular. I'll click on apply. So then you can see here the employee starts at 6 am. To be able to shift is available. Most important thing is you need to save the data. So now you see here it will show you again James with the 6 to 2 p.m. shift. That is 8-hour shift for that particular day. But we have added only for one day. But say this is a pattern. There's a pattern which employee follows for other days too. So instead of going and adding one by one for each week and each day, there's a shortcut where we can add multiple days of shift on a single set, even for n number of years. If this is the shift is going to follow for next 2 months or next 1 year or for like forever, we can add it based on that. So for that, what we will do, we have a concept called schedule pattern. So for that, we will receive the request. We will receive a request stating that we need to create a like. They will put a ticket stating that we need to this particular schedule pattern system, that is Monday through Thursday. They were like, this should be the schedule pattern which we need to create. In that case, what we need to do is first step in setup here. If you go to setup, there will be a separate option called schedules. Here we are going to work on 2 items this time, which is on the shift template and one is pattern templates. First, we need to create shift templates for each day. So first I'm going to create a shift template. You need to create a shift template is nothing. How we added a shift, similar to that, we are going to create a template so that each time we no need to go in and put a timing there. It will look similar to what we saw when creating the shift. It didn't have the type of regular class or break and so on. So when we are going to put a start time of 6 a.m. and end time of 2 p.m., because we need this as the first shift here, we have 6 a.m. 2 p.m. So we are going to create that first and we'll give a name to a meaningful name, setting 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then again, the next item we need is 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. and 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I'll click on Save and New. And now I'll create 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'll give 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. as an A for this. And I'll click on Save and New so that I can put the last one, which is 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. And now it's 6 8. So we have created all the 3 shifts and we have given a meaningful name to them, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. to 11 a.m. and 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. We have our shifts created. Now what we are going to see is the next item, which is under schedulers. Setup is pattern template. We are going to make this as a pattern. So how the pattern template look like a work week for us. So each time in the pickup particular day, either we can go here and directly enter 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Mondays or we have an option called Unity. Click on Monday, Unity, click on Insert Shift. Please note this one. You need to click on the particular day. As per our requirement, Monday is 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So once you click on Monday, you need to click on Insert Shift and here Unity click on Shift because we have only created 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's here. We have selected here and again. For Tuesday and Wednesday, it is 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we are going to select that shift. Sorry, I will just search for it and 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. And again, to do this, here we're going to do two things. You can copy, or we can again click on Insert Shift and put it there. We're going to duplicate a particular shift to another day. There is an option to copy and paste it here because Tuesday and Wednesday are same shifts. But I can click here and click on Insert Shift and enter it again. But if you want to do it this way, you can do it, or even there is another option. Even if you don't want to put any shifts there, you can directly enter. But the ideal practice is to create the shift and then enter here. You can directly enter 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Even that works. But the ideal way to do this, you need to click here, click on Insert Shift and click on 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sometimes the manual entry might create a shift. That last day we have another shift which is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So 6 a.m. 6 a.m. It's not showing up here. Is it not coming? Did we save it? Saved. It's missing out. I think it's sorted somewhat differently. Or maybe we already. It's not showing up. So for this we will enter it manually for the time being 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. So now we have given a pattern to it so that the employee works on these days. Like this is this weekly pattern for the employee. So this work we need to do. We will get tickets or change requests from the manager to do this. So we will give it an address. Consider this workflow from Chicago. This is Chicago Work Group of Chicago. Maybe janitor. For janitor people. And it's for. First, we need to put these pattern names so that we understand that. Monday through Thursday. 6 2 p.m. 4 p.m. Tuesday to Wednesday. I'll just keep it as Monday through Thursday. And I'll put maybe janitors underscore Chicago. So this will be the name. Just note it down. Not bad. We need to give down this name. We have created this one. Now, what we do is, now if you go to escape the schedule panel, they already have this, but we'll click on this employee name. And we'll have an option for schedule pattern. Now we need to click here. And you need not to touch the anchor date. Anchor date would be like initially. It should be Monday. It's wrong. So I'll just select the Sunday date. So it's showing a weekly one. Now this is fine. Only thing you need to choose is choose and start date. So we are going to start our pattern from maybe 10. 10 is the first date we are going to start. This Monday and the end date, if you give for hour, it will take for up to 100 years, 200 years. So we need not to do that. Currently, we have a requirement stating that it's going to extend for 2 months from 10-10 November to end of like 10-10 October to end of November. So once you choose the date, there is an option here called Insert Pattern Template. So here you need to look for our pattern template, Monday through Thursday, January. Just click on that and automatically it will add the shift here. Just click on the pattern template. Choose the pattern template and click on Add it. And if you see here for Monday already we mistakenly manually added our shift. We want to delete this. In live environment, the employee might have different shift already assigned to for these 2 months. We only need to wipe that shift and add the schedule. That's how in the live environment it will happen. They might have a different shift, and if they're changing to a different shift, we need to first wipe whatever they have for the future date and then add our new schedule. So for that option, we have an item called Override Their Patterns. Once you click on that, it will override if there is any other schedules available in the system and will put our data into it. So we are going to assign this shift for employee from 10 to 30th of November. If you click on yes, and it will show you we are going to start on 11th, the end of 30. This is the weekly pattern and the pattern states 6 am to 2 p.m. on Monday, 6 am to 4 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesdays, and 6 am to 11th on Thursday. Click on. This is replicating. It should be deleted automatically, but it's not working. So let me delete this panel. Now let me just save it out. If you see, the shift is applying the pattern, and once you refresh it, it should be applied. So we assign from 10 to 10:13. You can see here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's coming up properly. And if you go to the next week also, the state shift will be there. It will be there till it's only the Sunday date. So it will be there till 11:30. 30th of November, because we have added on 30th of November. And one more item which we need to know. Here is example, this particular shift for Monday and Thursday. It's fine. But for Tuesday and Wednesday, they are stating that they have a particular meal break available. Only 2 payment to pump for these people. So how to add a meal break? How to add a meal break means you can click here. You can edit. Even in the pattern template, you can give it. But I'm just showing you how to add it in Shift. Click on Edit. So we have a meal break at 12 p.m. So first we will end this at 12 p.m. Then we will go here and click on plus. And here the type we need to choose is break. Break 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. The employer is going to take a break. And then again he will start his shift from 1 p.m. and work till 4 p.m. Clear on this. Just have a look into that. Same. Just sit. And again 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. his type is break. And again he resumes his work at 1 p.m. and ends it at 4 p.m. You can add any number of breaks. It's purely based on the client's requirement. If they need to add more than one break, we can do it. There are some status. If an employer works on 10-hour shift, he is supposed to take 2 breaks of 30 minutes. That we can add based on that at 6 am and end out at 4 pm. If he is not going to take break, that also depends on the client's requirement. If they want to enforce it, we can enforce it, but it's not through schedules. We will do it through pay policies. But if we put a schedule and the employer punches out at 12 pm, it will consider it as a break, and he needs to budget again at 1 pm to resume his shift. This view will give you a better abstract strategy. Previously, we were in the tabular view. I will just give you the tabular view. Here you can easily understand where the break is. You can see the blank space in between the shift. That means this particular shift has a break. And in this view, say for example, today alone, the manager feels this employee might work till 5 pm. We have more work. We need to extend this shift. In that case, you can directly go here, 10 to 5 pm. Whatever you want, and save it out. And today the employee, the manager, feels like we have worked only till 10 am. We can just shuffle it to 10 am for 30 am. We can directly swing like this, or we can click and edit also. Depends on the flexibility. So this is about how to add a schedule, how to delete a schedule, how to make a pattern and assign for a number of days. How to delete a schedule. Delete a schedule again is the same thing. You just click and click on delete. That's it. It will delete it. Here also we can copy and paste a schedule. I need to copy this. And I am going to paste it here. I can click and paste it or say to this week, the employee is not going to work on the Monday, rather than he is going to work on the Monday shift. On Friday, I can cut and paste here and copy. Every option is here. Manually, it is there. You can have a pattern created and another pattern. So these are all the options available under schedules. So, and one more thing is, once you add a schedule, you will have that viewed in your time card. You can see the schedules will be added here. So like I am directly sitting at 6 am and punch out at 5 am, that is also acceptable. We can save it. It will accept it. Or he can punch. When is the break? Today we will write this Tuesday. So he can punch in at 6 am and punch out at 12 pm. Here, he is not going to use system. He is going to use swipe in and swipe out. So he need not to enter it. He just need to swipe in and swipe out. But since we are going to replicate the issue in the system, in the time card, we need to click on plus button to add one more in and out. If you add the plus button, it will give you one more row, where I will put the rest timing here. This is how it will look like. If he is taking a break and then starting his work after the break hits. In its role, he is now stating that he has taken more than 30 minutes, which is a long break. According to his payroll, which is assigned, 30 minutes is the limit for the break. Since he has taken more than 30 minutes, it is showing a long break, which is fine. if an employee has a schedule and has more punches on that particular day. Automatically, the manager will be notified through this exception, stating unexcused absence. This is the most important feature of scheduling. Manager will be notified that employee has an unexcused absence. This is how normal time card and the time card of the schedule is. That's all about the schedules. And then let me take you through what is the other topic. The next item is putting commands in a time card. So how to add up commands to time cards? I am starting at 6 am. Then my employee starts at 6 am and leaves by maybe 11 am. This date. It will throw out an error. It will say he is early out because he left before his shipments. So manager will be notified regarding this. And if the manager knows the reason and it's a genuine reason, maybe he is not well or he is in a medical emergency or personal emergency, so he leaves early, he can justify this exception. This is what we call as exception by putting a comma to this punch. So how to add up a comma to this punch? You need to click on the punch and click on commands. And in that he can select a particular command. There will be a lot of commands available. So now let's choose a command stating that he is sick, so he left. This depends on the company's organization. So here we have around only 10 commands. If needed, the company needs more commands, we can add that. Currently, we are assuming that the employees will inform the manager that he is sick, so he is leaving early. So we need to choose that command. And if needed, we can put some additional notes also stating that he is having eye pain or something. Some reason for, so that we can understand while we later see this type of problem. We'll click on add and we'll click on. So now you will have a command item near to the punch. You can see this icon. It will give you what command. CF sick with Dr. Mount and the reason is eye pain. This is how the employee looks. And also this is currently showing in red. We can review this by putting click and again mark as review. So we have reviewed this particular exception. Is he allowed? But we have reviewed this and then is he allowed? We have reviewed this, so it will be green. And the reason for that is sick. And the reason is eye pain. This is the last item we are discussing today. That is comes under, if you go here, there is an option called common setup. And there we have common setup. So in this command is where we will create a different command. So whatever we saw, that problem will be available here. CF sick with Dr. Mount. You can see here. So say we need a command stating that personal emergency. We can click on new and we can click maybe punches and pay code or exception something. Punches means we can add that comma to a particular punch. If it's pay code means say I'm putting some vacation code and some like sick code there. In that also I can add it. So mostly we will choose punch and pay code. And here we need to put the command's name. We can put it as like personal emergency. Code number. These items are not mandatory. We can just save under them. So now if you go to this particular how we can edit the command also, we can see like this. So now mistakenly the manager has put it as I payment with the doctor. But the real reason is he has left for personal emergency. So if the doctor wants to if the manager wants to edit it, he can click on the punch again. Click on commands. The existing command will come. He can click on X mark here so that this will go. Now we can click on add command and put our command, which is personal. We need to refresh it for a second. Again comments. Add command. It is taking some time to reflect here. Let me close this. Now let's see if it is. Sometimes it will take some time to reflect back. I will just cancel the previous command and I will see if at least now it is available. Personal emergency. So you can see here what the command we created there. It will be available. To create it, you need to go to administration. To test it, you need to come to the time. We can put personal emergency and put it like maybe whatever the reason or house maintenance something. Personal can be anything. Some reason, or even this is an optional one. If you want, you can add it or you can just leave it blank. Only command is mandatory. We need to put it up here. Personal emergency, house maintenance, save it out. This is how we edit a command, as well as this is how we create a command here. I am just taking you through the lighter options and little bit on the setup. So today we have seen how to put a schedule pattern and how to see that in time product. How we can preview a particular exception and add commands to it, and also how to create commands. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@therightuptalk.com.